What is the best interface under $1,000? I think I have it. Let's check it out. Hey everyone, I'm Cole Caparoon. Thank you for stopping by for another video. Now I want to make sure I don't get the specs of this wrong. This is a 21 input, 22 output, 24-bit, 192 kilohertz desktop USB-C interface. It has 4 microphone preamps. It has Bluetooth. It has MIDI. It has 2 headphone outputs that will run independent headphone mixes, which that's a big part of this one for me. It's a fully functional monitoring controller that will run 2 sets of monitors. It has a talkback mic built in. It has Hi-Z inputs for running direct in with your bass guitar, or if you'd like to run your guitar straight in and then use plugins for your amp simulators. And it will work with any DAW. So this is not just a Pro Tools only interface. It has incredible conversion and really good clean sounding mic pre's, which you're listening to right now. Now, when I was putting this B room together, I searched pretty extensively for different tabletop style interfaces. I wasn't 100% sold on a tabletop, but I kind of was leaning that way, but I really needed all of those features that I just listed off. I really wanted it to run 2 pairs of monitors. I really wanted to be able to run independent headphone mixes. I wanted it to have enough I/O that I could patch some hardware in mixing if I needed a couple channels of hardware on a small project. And I couldn't find anything that did all of those things, especially independent headphone mixes. That's a big one. And the fact that it works with any DAW out there. So this is the Avid Inbox Studio. Now this box goes for $899, and I'll put a link down below so that way you can go check it out if you want to see additional specs, or if you'd like to pick one up, please use that link down below and it helps me out a bunch. All right, so I needed to go with a new interface for this desk because I needed more I/O, more functionality than the last one that I was using. And so what I went with is the Avid Inbox Studio. It seems very cool. Like the quantity of, like, the functionality seems crazy. Like, seems like an incredibly flexible interface, especially for the money. I'm not sure there's another interface out there that does this much for the money. And because this is like a simplistic setup, I wanted some sort of desktop thing. How in the world do you get it open? Never cut towards yourself, people. Never cut towards yourself. Yeah, looks cool. So there she is. Lots of connectivity on the back. Seems very, very cool. Knobs feel nice. It's important to have good knob feel. So first, I think we gotta do the. Doesn't get any better than that. It just seems like the perfect box for this kind of setup. Let's raise that up, and then we can tuck that back in there, and then we'll lower that down, and like that. That looks pretty seamless right there. Now, I've recorded more than a handful of things on this interface, and I find the preamps to be really clean and really, like, just pleasant. Like, they're just good sounding preamps, and the conversion is definitely at a place where, like, really with most of these interfaces, if I'm being honest, we just don't really have to think about conversion quality that much anymore. Now, I started on a DigiDesign 001, and it sounded awful, if I'm being honest. And then when the 003 came out, we upgraded to the 003. And it was like such a night and day difference in sound quality between the 001 and the 003. And then I eventually went to a Pro Tools HD rig and had a couple of 96IO HD Pro Tools interfaces from DigiDesign. And it was, again, like this huge step up in conversion quality. It was awesome. And then I went to the 192s, and it was another significant step up. And then I went with an Apollo 16, and again, it was a step up in conversion. And I was like, wow, this sounds so much better. And then every step we take, they just keep sounding better and better. And I think what we forget, and I remind myself of this constantly when I get obsessive over like conversion quality, is that how many absolutely stunning records were done on DigiDesign 192s. Like all of them. Like all of your favorite records were done on those interfaces. And so I feel like we can get wrapped up in this rabbit hole of what's the best sounding conversion, when really at the end of the day, especially now, we are now at a place that if you're spending over $200 or $300, like the conversion's fine. Is there a difference between converters? Yes, but like it's not the part holding you back. Okay, so on the back of the Avid MBox Studio, you've got your USB-C port, you've got optical in and out, you've got SPDIF in and out, you've got MIDI in and out, which is awesome because your MIDI's included right here. You've got 2 pairs of monitor outputs, so that means you've got your main and your alternate. You guys know, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know how I feel about running 2 pairs of monitors, and I won't work without them. One of the things that this box is a huge win to me. You've got your effects loop here, and the effects loop sends can either be line or high Z. So you can run guitar pedals off of this or any sort of loops like that. You've got your line inputs here, so between this I/O you can mix with hardware, like do hardware inserts right in Pro Tools or whatever DAW if it supports it. You've got expression pedals and foot switches here, which are assignable to different things, which is very cool. You've got 2 more microphone inputs. These are mic line combo jacks, so you can run either line or microphone input. So one of my favorite things to do is to leave a keyboard hooked up to these, so that way my stereo keyboard is just already right there ready to go at all times, and then use the front panel for the microphones. Let's turn this around. Now on the front panel, you've got inputs 1 and 2. These are both variable impedance, microphone and line inputs, and instrument inputs, which is really awesome. This is your output here, so that way you can do your reamping to your guitars, so you can send right out of this jack and have it go right into your guitar amp or anything else really, so that way you can do reamping right from this box. Then you've got your 2 independent headphone outputs with independent volume controls, so that way you can track right into this with independent headphone controls. That's incredible. Now this form factor is definitely one of my favorite things, because you have got inputs here. So this is how you would control your microphone input gain. You would just push this button to switch between all the different channels, which is awesome. You've got 48-volt phantom power right here. You've got your Bluetooth here. You've got your impedance here, a built-in pad right there, tuner here, and then a bunch of different monitor control stuff. So you've got your mono switch, your talkback, your dim, your mute, the Bluetooth. This is your monitor volume control right there. And these knobs feel really good. In addition to the metering actually being really good on all of these. So these would be your input meters and your monitor meters right here. And then you get to your customizable buttons here, which you can change and program inside of the MBox control software. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so this is the MBox control software, and as you can see, you have all of your different inputs here. You have different software inputs here. You have got hardware outputs here, and then all you do is select your different channels, and then you can adjust every single thing here. So mic, line, or instrument, you can turn phantom power on and off. You can change your impedance. You can do a soft limiter, high pass, polarity, like just send to your headphones, like all the different stuff. And then you've got built-in EQ. And so you can record through a handful of different things as well. Your overall monitor output, you can switch between your main and your alternate outputs, Bluetooth, all of that stuff. You can hit your talkback, you can hit your dim and your mono and your mute, and it's just super flexible. And then you get into customizable stuff. You can hit into here to preferences, and you can select all these different things to do with these customizable buttons when pressed or when pressed and held, which is like, that's super cool that you can customize buttons on here to do different things and customize the color that it is. This software routing is so incredibly powerful. It's one of the secrets to this box. And it's one of the reasons why I think this is hands down the best box under $1,000. So in addition to being such the perfect form factor with great metering, that's one of the things that this has over pretty much every other option in this price point, is the metering on this is really great. And the fact that it runs 2 sets of monitors is really great. The fact that it has a mono button right on the top is really great. The fact that it will run 2 different headphone mixes independent of each other, each with an individual volume control. To me, all of these things together means that I can run this as the standalone only thing that I use in a studio like this, in a smaller tracking studio where I'm doing mixing that's mostly in the box. And I think that that fits the bill for probably most of you watching. And the other thing that I like is that there's just the right amount of controls on the front. I usually, in these scenarios, if I'm in this room and I'm not doing a full band, I'm usually never recording more than 2 channels at a time, and I'm usually never using more than 2 headphones at a time. And so the fact that I can access all of that from the front panel and never have to climb behind it to rehook anything up means you don't need a patch bay with this interface to make things more easily accessible. Now, again, you've been hearing this box the whole time in this video. This is a Sennheiser 416, runs straight into the Inbox Studio using the built-in phantom power with the built-in microphone preamps straight into Pro Tools. Now, even though this does work with any DAW, you can run it on Logic or Studio One or anything you would like, it does come with a 1-year subscription to Pro Tools, which I think is great. It's no secret, I'm a Pro Tools guy. I've been on Pro Tools since version 5. And to me, and I've made videos about this, to me, it is hands down my software of preference. And that comes down to just a couple things. One is that the editing in it, I like the editing in Pro Tools better than every other DAW. Full stop. I just do. You can disagree with me, that's fine, but that's what I like. And the second thing is, here in Nashville, I'm flying songs and sessions back and forth between, sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 different studios will touch a single song that I'm working on. And the fact that all of us are running Pro Tools, it's the only DAW that all of us in town are running, or we all at least have. So it's just so much easier to just send sessions back and forth and around and take sessions to different studios. And then the workflow is so much easier when we're all on the same system. I honestly, really, I tried to come up with some downsides, some flaws, and I don't have any, which I very rarely can say about a product. I don't have any downsides to this. I think at its price point, which is $899, I think it's one of, if not the best sounding boxes at that price point, at that under $1,000 price point. It hands down has the best workflow and I/O in any box under $1,000. Like, I really believe that. That's like, I don't even feel like that's up for debate. It looks good. Its form factor is like the right size. The knobs feel substantial, like everything feels well made and solid on it. So yeah, there's my pick for the best interface under $1,000, the Avid Inbox Studio. Don't forget to drop your questions and comments down below, and I'll also put a link down below to purchase this, or go check out more specs, or go see more details about it down below. Those links go to Sweetwater. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this video. I very much appreciate it. Anytime you need any piece of musical gear, you can jump on any one of my videos, click on any one of the links down below, purchase anything you need. And if you use any of those links to purchase anything you need, it goes a long ways to help support this channel and help me keep making videos just like this one. So thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you for using the links anytime you need to purchase anything. All right, I guess that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.